Welcome back. Welcome to the first official actual podcast. Um, I'm actually ready this time. So, the first thing I wanted to do was actually show you guys the difference between my microphone and um, I guess just my camera's audio. So, I'm just going to switch it back and forth through editing. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to talk. You can probably hear the difference. So, yeah. Pretty baller setup. I think it helps a lot because I was listening to it editing and I was like, yeah, that helps a lot. If my air conditioning units outside were on, you could definitely hear them through the camera's audio, especially since you're right by the window. And when I was recording yesterday, this microphone actually cut off all of that. So, worth my $15, I think. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was actually just my car's problems, just because I know that's how most of this started. So I wanted to just tell that story. And so, let me think. Last week, on my third to last day at work, I was leaving. I had closed that day, and as I was leaving, I was just driving down the road and I saw like a piece of paper in my windshield, and then like as I like stopped at a red light, I hit the windshield wiper and I just like grabbed it, and it was like a note that said, "Hey, sorry I hit your car. I waited for you for like 30 minutes, but if you could just call me, that'd be great." So I mean that was really cool that they left their phone number and stuff and name for me. It was obviously very upsetting because I don't want to deal with that. And it was just like I didn't even notice it when I got off. It was like two or three little scrapes on the side. And he didn't want to go through insurance, and I was like, "Okay, that's fine." Because it shouldn't be that much just to get a couple scrapes, it's just like a paint job really. And I don't want to like mess up his premium and whatever like adult stuff. So that was fine. And then the next day, after I got off work, I was driving home and I noticed my car was like kind of doing this like stopping and going kind of thing. Well, it was just like, it just felt weird driving it, like it was off. And I live about 15 minutes away from my job. So right when I was about 5 minutes away, my car started getting worse, and like it like wouldn't, like I tried to speed up after like trying to hit a right turn, and it wouldn't go past like 30, and I was like, okay, this is weird, but like hopefully it stops. And then I kept going and it was fine, and then I hit the next light, which was even closer to my house, and after I hit that turn, it stopped, like it stalled out on me. And I was like on the phone with my parents because I had called them just because it stalled out a second ago a little bit, like it choked. But this time it actually like stopped, and I was in the middle of the road for a second, and then I like waited for traffic to go by because it wasn't that much. It's like the middle of the day, so no, it wasn't like rush hour or anything. And it would let me go about 30, so about the second gear, it would stop and not let me speed up anymore. So I finally made it home, and right as I pulled into the driveway, it actually stopped, like it shut off, and it wouldn't let me drive it anymore. So I feel like I was just very lucky to get home, because who wants to be stranded in the middle of the road, especially when you're like 5 minutes from your house? Like, just, just let me get home. So that was the beginning of all that, and then I got it towed to a place nearby. It's actually the dealership, which I know is my first mistake. Because they told me they told me all the things wrong with it. There's like a heater hose that was messed up, and some fluids were missing, and the transmission was obviously out. It was the second gear, and they wanted to replace everything new, so that was going to be about $5,000 total, which is where my panic set in because I don't have $5,000, and I had no idea how to like begin to pay that off. And so I got it towed to another place, a local place, and they actually got a good deal from they knew somebody who owned a scrapyard who got me a transmission that was used. It only had like 4,000 miles on it, and would save me about 3 grand in the end. So I was like, fuck yeah, let me see if I can swing that, because I don't know where else I'd get that kind of a deal for getting all of that fixed for only 2 grand and some change. So yeah, that's kind of what I was dealing with the past week with my car stuff. So I know I didn't really get into that before. I just kind of said my transmission went out, which was the main thing. It is a couple grand to get that fixed, but all the hoses and the fluids and stuff were also going to be a couple hundred. So I'm very lucky that I had enough of my savings already to get a down payment on the work, and then I have you guys donating and just subscribing to this and interested in helping me. So I'm very blessed to have all of my friends and people online that are willing and have some abundance to share. So yeah, and there's going to be about another grand left over that I need to cover, but I'm just going to get a credit card and just pay that off, because I can pay it off. I just don't have it on me right now. I work full time. Like, I can pay that off in a couple months. That's fine. But just getting my car back is the thing, because I'm moving. Today is Saturday, and I'm moving on Tuesday, and I'm waiting for the credit card to come in. Hopefully that comes through, and I can pay it off, and then I can have my car, and I can work and pay it off, and it'll be fine, and I can establish some credit, because as an adult you have to have that, which I already have some because I rented an apartment for a couple of years and stuff. So I have some, but I know some places are worried about that. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I was dealing with my car. Okay, let me stop right there and collect my thoughts. Okay, we're back. I am going to talk about my job situation. I had to write down everything because, good Lord, I'm going through about a year of just so many things that happened that are just ridiculous, that I've never dealt with or thought I'd had to deal with ever. But I'm glad I'm finally going to get to share it with everybody, because I've been, ever since like these crazy situations have been happening, I've been like someone has to know about this. Like, I knew if I complained to corporate, like, what are they going to do? Like, these are the managers of the store. Like, it is the manager of the store. So like, she's not going to get fired. You know, like, she's going to be there forever, because they need her, unless this goes like, unless it like gets like the lid's blown off or something. Like, if everyone like needs to know about this, I don't know. It'll also just make me feel better to talk about it. So it's really just the head manager at this store that I worked at, and then one of the assistant managers. Thing one and thing two. These people, the assistant manager like kisses ass to the main manager. Like, she just wants her to do. She just wants to be. She just is very lonely. Like, I can break down their psyche pretty well, because just I've had so much time to be around them. They're both just very lonely, and they don't have a life outside of the store. So that's why they care so much about the fucking store and how well it does and how many credit cards we sell and all that. They also get a bonus for the credit cards, which is also why they care. But that's not part of the story. I started off just part-time. I kind of worked full-time-ish during Christmas time, just because retail and Christmas time, and I wasn't doing anything, and money's nice. And then near the end of my time there, I was going to be full-time, but I know I probably couldn't have been able to deal with them, just because they are terrible people. The first example that I have of them just being like just bad managers was one of my first days there, and I was working, and I was scanning something to mark it down like on clearance, and I was doing it a certain way, and I was doing it wrong apparently, because that's just how they wanted me to do it. And just the way she talked to me, she was like, "Hey, Brendan, actually, if you can just do it one by one." I was doing a couple at a time, like 3, and then I'd put the stickers on there, and then 3, I'll put the stickers on there. And then she saw me doing that. She's like, "Hey, if you can just do it one at a time." But she didn't say it like that. That's what she said, basically. That's all she had to say, and she could have kept walking. But she, like, got she was standing. I was sitting on the ground, and she was like got on her knees, like hands on her knees, like bent over, talking to me like, "Hey, Brendan, if you could just scan these one at a time, that'd be super." And it's just like using your customer service voice at someone who works in retail or any kind of customer service is like condescending as fuck. And if that's the way you handle managing, that's your only solution, is just to be condescending with your customer service voice. It's like, we know what you're doing. Like, why are you trying to talk to us that way? Like, I know you. I know it's not how you talk to me. So that rubbed me the wrong way, and it was just, it felt like she like thought I was stupid or something. And I'm like, this job is not hard. Like, you don't have to talk to me that way. And that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I was in the wrong, so I guess I'll just do whatever and I'll keep it moving. Most of my mentality is whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, because this is just a job to give me some money. This is not my career. I get that this is your fucking career, but I don't care. And then the first actual incident that happened was what I call the poop incident. Working in retail, you'll have customers come in and someone, I think what happened was someone shit themselves and they wiped it up, I guess, and then they just threw the toilet paper on the floor in the stall. And so at this time, we have a cleaner, because of COVID, go around and like clean the store pretty much the whole shift that they're there. Like, they just wipe down surfaces like door handles, and they clean out the break room and stuff and make sure that it's all sanitized. And they take out the trash and dust and sweep and stuff. So basically like a janitor is what their job is, only usually we outsource that. So like another company comes in and cleans it during the morning, but because of COVID, we have to have someone there to clean down everything. So at the time that this happened, the poop incident, we had a teenager. It was like, I think it was his first job, and he told them beforehand that he would not clean up poop or pee or vomit or any bodily fluids like that. Like, it's, and I understand, like, why would you want to do that? Like, that's not what you're getting hired for at a retail job. Like, that's not what you expected. And all he did was clean at the time. Like, that's what he did. But as I said, like, he did all the other duties. Like, it's not every day that somebody comes in and like shits all over the place. So it was like a one-time incident. So it's happened like twice since I've been there for a year. So I think he found it. He went into the bathroom to clean, like, just to wipe, like, make sure like everything's clean and stuff. And it was in the boys' bathroom, and he went in there to clean, and he, like, over the walkie said, "Hey, someone had an accident in the bathroom. Like, can someone come help me clean this up?" And at the time, the managers on duty, including one of the thing one, thing two managers. I'll say thing one is the head manager, and then thing two is the junior manager. So thing two was there, and she was in the back, and she was with another manager who was okay. I didn't really care for her, but she's fine. She's not the main problem. I'll just say that. She's still rude and whatever, but yeah, she's not the problem. So thing two and then the other manager are back there in the back. They have to take in the truck, so there has to be two people back there, and usually it's the managers, to make sure like the numbers and stuff match up and stuff or whatever. So they're back there in the back, and they're like, "Hey, can you take care of that, or have Brendan help you?" So I had to go back there. Okay, this is what happened. He found it and told me, and then I said it over the walkie. And then I was standing there, and I was like, "Hey, like, can one of the managers come help him clean this up? Like, I'm not doing it. I don't get paid enough for that. And I've never been properly trained," is one of the main things also. That if you don't train somebody to properly clean bodily fluids, you can sue them for that. And because it's like, that's illegal for them not to show you how to do it and then ask you to do it, you know. And it wasn't even that bad. It's just that it's more about the principle that I'm not going to clean up after you, especially if I don't get paid enough, but also because I don't like you. Like, at other jobs, I've worked at a job and I've cleaned up poop before. Like, that's not a problem. It's the fact that I don't like you, mostly. So yeah, I call them, and they're super rude over the walkie after I say, it's like, we all have radio pieces in our ears, and like, we talk over the walkie all the time. That's how we communicate in the store. And I'm like, "Can someone come back here and help the janitor dude clean up the mess in the bathroom?" And they're like, actually, Brendan, can you do it? Because we're back here trying to do the truck. And I was like, okay. And then I went in there and I was like, it stunk so bad. Like, obviously it's fucking shit, but it stunk so bad. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to do that. So, and the dude the janitor kid he was like, I'm not doing this. Like, it's going to make me sick. Like, if I try to clean this up, like, I'm going to puke. And he felt really bad. Like, he wanted to do a good job and he didn't want to disappoint, because it's his first job and he wants to be a good worker and stuff. And I get that. When I was his age, I wanted to do the same thing. But, no. So, I said over the walkie, I was like, hey guys, like, the mess in the bathroom, like, is just way too much. Like, I don't think I can do it, and neither can the janitor dude. We can't do this by ourselves. And then they said something over the walkie. I don't remember what specifically, but it was something very rude. And I want to say it was along the lines of, like, basically, we're busy, you need to do it. Like, get over it, like, suck it up and do it, is pretty much what they said. And I was like, oh, so now you're going to be fucking rude on top of this situation. Like, now I'm definitely not going to do it. And then, I guess it's another, like, I don't know what her position is, but she's like, imagine thing two, like the manager, the junior manager, imagine her having an assistant. So that lady at the time she was coming out of the break room, which is right there by the bathrooms and the janitor's closet and stuff. And she was coming out of the break room and she heard everything. She said to me, she said it like this. She said, they're going to make you clean it up either way. And I was like, I promise you I'm not going to clean it up, because you can't make me do anything, first of all. Because, like, I don't know who you think you are coming out of nowhere. No one's talking to you about the situation. Like, this does not concern you. So I don't know why you feel you need to speak up on the situation. And so she heard me say that and then walks off and goes to the break room because to the back room where the truck is, to the managers, because she's a snitch and nobody fucking liked her. And she told the managers what I said, and then I think after they said something mean to me, like super rude to me over the walkie, I said something snarky back, because I'm like, if you want to get rude over the walkie, bitch, I can say something too. Like, I don't care if you're the manager, bitch. I don't give a shit about this job. I can go work. I can go find another job for 10 an hour. Like, this is not a big deal to me. Like, if you want to argue about this, we can. And so that's what I said. And so, yes, I was kind of rude back. Like, not even to my coworkers at the time, who also had an earpiece in, backed me up, and that the managers, like thing two and then the other manager, were much ruder over the walkie than me. They're just not used to somebody being confrontational with them because they're scared of them, and like everyone else is scared of them. And I'm like, bitch, fuck you. I don't give a shit about you or this goddamn shitty ass job. So yeah, I said something back. And then the girl comes out and says what she said, and I said something back, and she runs and tells them in the back. And then the managers can all of a sudden come back here because they aren't busy all of a sudden. So they come back to the bathroom area by the break room and stuff. And in that time, we've had to tell customers, like, no, the bathroom's closed, like, don't come over here. And everyone in the store who had an earpiece in came, because we're right by the break room. They come over and then they're like, are you really gonna try to clean that up? And I'm like, fuck no, especially if they're being fucking rude to me like that. And that's when the managers came up and they're like, well, you don't. They said that's when they started to go off on me, and I was like, okay, girl, you want to argue about this? Let's go. She said, first of all, you don't need to be rude over the walkie. Like, that's like disobedience is what she said, I believe. Like, you not wanting to clean up the poop and shit. I was like, disobedience. And I was like, girl, I do not care. Like, I started laughing in her face because she was actually angry because I made her come and clean it up, which it literally took not even thing two. Thing two didn't even touch the poop. Literally, the other manager that was there at the time, that was in the back, came and cleaned it up within 2 minutes. Like, it wasn't even that fucking big of a deal, because it was mostly just toilet paper. It just stunk, and I didn't want to fucking clean it up. But anyways, while she was cussing me out, she didn't cuss me out, but while she was trying to get on to me about talking rude over the walkie, she also said, you also don't need to be telling anyone who walks up here what you are and aren't going to do, because that's disobedience as well. And that's because the little junior, her little assistant, bitch went and snitched on me and said that. And I was like, bitch, I don't give a shit about any of this. I just kept laughing in her face. She's like, you don't need to be laughing about this. This is serious. And I just laughed even more. And I'm like, I promise you I'm not cleaning it up. Like, that's fine. Like, I'm not going to argue with you about this. And I didn't. And that's that on that. So later on, she was angry at me still. And I was like in the back room and I was like, hey, like, thing two, please come to the back room. Like, I need to talk to you. And I was like, listen, I'm sorry for being rude to you earlier, but when your little assistant girl came up to me and said what she said to me, like I told her what she said, I was like, that just rubbed me the wrong way. And that made me feel like I didn't have a choice in the matter. And I'm like, I promise you, I'm not going to let go of my voice. Like, if that's one thing I have, that's the last thing I'm going to take with me. So that just rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm like, I'm sorry if you're mad at me for something. Like, she's like, I don't hold on to like grudges and stuff. I just let it go. And very, very wrong, come to find out. Because ever since then, after that day, everything changed. They hated me and they were always breathing down my neck. And hold on, let me see what time we got. Okay, I've been going on for a minute. I might cut this short and then make it another one, but this is the beginning. There's so many other fucking stories I have to tell. So they would just always ride my ass about shit like, Brendan, what are you working on? Like, they never called anybody else's name as much as me. And I mentioned it to my coworkers, and all of them agreed with me that they were fucking harassing me about what I was doing at all times. And, okay, I will admit, I would, like, stop and talk to people a lot because I enjoy the relationships I build with the people I work with, because that's what makes or breaks a job for me, is the people I work with, because the job itself is fine, like, it's not that hard, but if the people are terrible, then I won't want to work there, which is why the only reason I stayed at this job was because all of my coworkers, which are wonderful people, a terrific group of girls, and I'm very lucky to have them there because they made it, we just got each other through it. Like, it was really awesome that we had each other's back like that. But I forgot where I was going with that. I've been going on for like 20 minutes already, so I might cut this one off after this. But yeah, they would just constantly breathe down my neck, and they acted like I was such a disobedient little shit. And I never would like not do something that they told me. Like, I always did what they told me, except for the poop thing. But ever since then, that one situation, they would always fucking ride my ass about shit. And it was like, I remember one of my last days, I counted. I was only there for 4 hours, which is one of the shortest shifts you can get at this store, at this job. And the thing too, was manager that day, and she called my name 10 times in 4 hours. And I was like, I don't even know. Like, most of it would just be, Brendan, what are you working on? Brendan, what are you doing? Brendan, did you finish doing this? Brendan, are you doing this? Like, imagine just someone calling your name that many fucking times. And it just gets fucking annoying. And I get that that's what they're trying to do, but... Okay, yes, that's what I was saying, is that I would stop and talk a lot. I would stop and talk and have a conversation, and the managers would catch me, and it would be such a big deal, and they used to always get on to everybody about stopping and talking to each other. And I'm like... Another one of the big things that I'll finish this off with is that the managers also love to talk shit about us. Like, it was like that was part of their job description, pretty much, that they would go into the office, or not even into the office, they would just go into the back room or wherever on the floor. Doesn't matter where they are, they just huddle up in somewhere and talk shit about us. And like, that's not a secret. So like, why are you getting mad at us for talking shit about you when you're actually terrible people? We do our fucking jobs. Like, the only reason why you have the store looking at the way it does is because of me and like a handful of other people. Like, you were severely understaffed, and you're lucky that we do as much as we do, and I'm glad to be fucking out of there. And I feel sorry for my coworkers who are still there, because I'm sure it'll be a fucking mess, but I'm sure they'll figure it out, because they always do. But it's just like, they're just so ungrateful, and they, like, if the worst thing I do is stand and talk to somebody for 2 minutes, then I still get my work done. Like, there's people in the store that wouldn't do shit. They would shop on the clock. They would just completely, generally ignore their responsibilities. And it's just like, you get on to me for talking to somebody. And like, how do you know if it was or wasn't about something important? And yeah, I don't know. It's just annoying as fuck. But I'm gonna cut it off there. The rest of this that I have written down is mostly about the racism in the store, because they have been accused of racism by multiple associates and targeting, and like, it's not blatant, it's more like modern, like, it's not the fucking 50s anymore, bitch. Like, and I got in trouble for it. I got in trouble for calling them racist, and they found out. But like, the managers found out that I called them racist and shit. But I'll get to that next time because I'm running out of time, and I don't want to make this one too long. But hopefully that gave you like something to listen to if you're eating or something. I don't know. But yeah, okay. I'll cut this one off there. So I'll probably record another one tomorrow just because I'm not doing shit. So well, I'm packing the next couple of days. I'm actually moving on Monday now. But yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for listening. Hopefully this was entertaining enough, and I'll see you tomorrow or Monday. I don't know. We'll see.